Welcome everybody, my name is Ron E. Baker and welcome to your self-love quiz. Now I know what you might be thinking, self-love quiz, is this guy off his rocker? Doesn't he know that we're dudes, that we're strong females, that we don't need a self-love quiz? Well, you may not, but you may. So let's talk about self-love for a second. What is self-love? What do we think about when we say the word self-love? Self-love, if we want to get to a very basic definition, is what you think about when you look in the mirror. Is it always great? Is it not so great sometimes? Is there judgment there? Is there anger? Is there anticipation? Is there anguish? Is there unconditional love? Have you ever met a mirror you don't like? I've become a master at self-love. And the reason I got to be a master at self-love is because when I was a kid, I was blessed with super bad eyesight. So my eyeballs, if this is a regular eyeball, so my eyeballs are shaped, regular eyeballs about like that. My eyeballs are shaped like little eggs. So they're eggs, but they're real little, which gave me really bad eyesight. So needless to say, as I was real young, I couldn't wear any contacts. So I had these amazing glasses, and back then in the 80s, glass or plastic glasses were really thick, and my eyes looked huge in these glasses. I'm going to throw a picture up here on the screen so you can get just a little glimpse of my cuteness when I was a little kid. So that's me. And then as I grew up, I noticed very fast how the environment would find its way to single you out when you were different. Needless to say, other kids, teachers, older kids would pick on me. You know, I got my fair share of bullying. So I had to make a choice really quick. Was I going to be small and unimportant, or was I going to be big and show the world through my image that I don't care how I look on the outside, I'm going to represent strength, power, wisdom, and love. I remember making that decision in the 5th grade. So from now till then, what I've gotten really good results at in my life is a great self-image. And I'm not bragging here by any means. It doesn't mean that have a huge ego or anything like that. It's just the opposite. I've been able to transcend my ego in a lot of ways. I've been able to look at things from an observer kind of place rather than an ego kind of place. And I think that's one thing that in the circles of personal development isn't talked about a lot, self-love. So why talk about self-love? Self-love is the foundation of your personal development building. So imagine your life is experiences stacked one on top of another, and they're only as strong as the foundation. So job, success, relationship, money, all the things you love and desire, all the things you want to be, do, and have, get stacked on this foundation. Well, that foundation is your self-image. It's how you think about yourself, not on a daily basis, but in every single moment. Your subconscious is firing every single moment. If you're not aware of what your thoughts are and able to instill new beliefs, then that experience represents itself in every area of your life. So let's get really clear on where we're at right now. There's about 10 of these to answer 1 to 10 where you're at in the self-love scale. And then you can take these answers away and you can pick the area that you were the lowest in and start getting really curious about that. This area is so important to me. I'm actually creating a 5-week CD program with a workbook that will probably be out next month that you'll be able to pick up. So, but for right now, this is a little excerpt from the program. And if you like what you see here, you're going to love the deep dive into the program. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, my self-love is a, where you at? Self-love. On 1 to 10, where you at? Second, my self-image is a, I see the world as a beautiful place. Now, if you don't know this about reflections and the world being a mirror for us, the world is a mirror for how we think on the inside. So if you're seeing the world as a beautiful place, It's a good spot. If you're not seeing the world as a beautiful place, there may be some digging we need to get to there. I want to be unconditional love for myself and others. Okay, this one's a little different. It says, I want to be. You have to want it. You've got to want to do something like this. When I used to do healing and energy work with people, the first question I would ask about healing their ailments is, and it might sound silly, but it's so important, do you want to be healed? And every person would give me a look like, and then they would think about it for a second, and they would come into being, and they would get really still and honest and say, yes. Never had somebody say no, but I did have everybody really think about it, so they were very clear on what their intention was. So again, I want to be unconditional self-love for myself and others. Last one on this page, I believe that unconditional love for myself is possible. Do you even believe it's possible? I know that there are those of you out there who have had a pretty crummy past, that the world seems like is out to get you and everything in life is beating you down. I'm here to tell you, unconditional self-love is absolutely possible, and it starts with us. No matter what your history has been, no matter what your past has done to you, now it's time for you to happen to life and not life happen to you. I believe that I am perfect and that I am exactly as I should be on my path of learning and growing. I believe that I am perfect and I am exactly where I should be on my path of learning and growing. Is that you? If it is, if that's a 10 on your statement, that's a pretty good indicator that you're a person of exploration, of loving yourself and wanting to becoming more. I know that I can do anything. Do you know that? I proved it. I went from small town Pennsylvania. You can still see me replaying on the NCIS. I became an actor that nobody thought possible. Okay, the last one. I am committed to discovering and becoming unconditional love. I am committed. Do you want to be committed? Would you like to be committed? Would you like to feel what it feels like every time that you look at yourself or somebody else? That you have nothing but wonderful joy and unconditional love. If you can get to unconditional love in your relationship, the most important relationship, which is your relationship with yourself, if you can get there, you can get unconditional love in all of your relationships. Have you ever looked at a relationship and go, God, how do they do that? How do they feel like that? Well, I guarantee if you put those people in front of a mirror, they're looking back at unconditional self-love. It starts with us. Make unconditional self-love your building block, and your life will become a success almost overnight. I'm Ronnie Baker for RonnieBaker.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email me at ron@ronniebaker.com and go ahead and like my Facebook page. Have a great night.